Hello and welcome to another edition of Sports Talk. It is the first show for the month of July 2023. It's July 1 to be exact. I'm Daniel Blake. Thank you so much for joining me. Before I tell you what's coming up in the show, I want to remind you that you can watch and listen to the show in several different ways. If you plan to listen, you can do so on your radio, Love 101.1 all the way to 101.9, depending on where you are in the island. So sometimes you might be in different places and wonder why love kind of break up. So that's probably because you're not on the right one. So make sure that you go through and you'll be able to find the right one so you can hear everything clearly. If you want to listen on the internet, you can download the Love FM app in the Google Play or Apple Store, depending on what smart device you have. Or you can go in your internet browser, love101.org, and you will hear live there. Or if you prefer to be fancy and watch what's going on, you can go on Love FM's YouTube and Facebook pages, and I will be live there. So good afternoon, everybody. Thank you so much for joining me wherever you are in the world. It truly means a lot. Now, on today's show, we're going to focus a bit on boxing because remember several years ago, it feels like a long time, but the Contender, which was the most popular boxing series in the Caribbean, to the point where fighters from overseas were coming to Jamaica to fight. It was such an amazing thing, and then unfortunately it stopped. But a brand new fight series is starting as of later this evening. The Fight Night series put on by the Jamaica Boxing Board. So we will hear a lot about that after the 1:15 break, where we'll be joined by the president of JBB, Stephen Bomber Jones. And then after the 1:30 break, we're going to still be talking boxing because one of our greatest fighters, ALICIA Slick Ashley, she was recently inducted in the International Boxing Hall of Fame. Slick Ashley is one of the most famous female fighters in the world, and knowing that she's Jamaican makes it all better. I know a lot of times we focus on some of the great male boxers to come out of Jamaica, but what Slick Ashley has done for the sport is also quite incredible. So we will hear an interview with her after the 1:30 break. So stay with us right here on the family station Love 101 because we have a lot to get through. So before I get to my sports bits, by the way, 876-997-3125, 876-997-3125. That is our WhatsApp number, so feel free to connect with me anytime. Things that you hear during the show. If you're uncertain about any sporting thing, just let me know. Any comment you want, I am there. Or if you're watching on YouTube and Facebook, like Alvarine, saying good afternoon, thank you so much. Feel free to leave your comments there. So remember last year, Red Bull had put on the car park drift in Catherine Hall, and they sent some nice things my way. So this is for the people on YouTube and Facebook. I'm going to describe it for the people on radio. So if you're on YouTube and Facebook, you see the nice little box. So it is a nice package from Red Bull, the car park drift. And what's cool about it, so when I picked it up, I realized that there were like skid marks and everything. So I said, who dropped the box? But I realized it was all over the box because, you know, when you are drifting a car or any motor vehicle or not motor or bicycle, whatever, you always have those skid marks. I thought that was really pretty cool. So it's all over the box along with the red, blue, and yellow of Red Bull. So the car park drift is happening this evening at Catherine Hall Sports Complex at 7 p.m. So if you are on that side of the island in St. James. If you're in Trelawney and St. Ann, you're not too far. If you're in Hanover, um, or Westmoreland, I don't know if that's too far for you, but it's something that you do not want to miss, because Jamaica's top local drivers are going to be competing to be crowned the 2023 Drift King. And the international Red Bull athlete Elias Huntunji from Germany, he'll be here, and he's known for his participation in the Kings of Europe Drift. And the course was made by Abdo Fegali, who is a national sports motorsports champion over there in Lebanon, and he has a Guinness World Record. The Guinness Book of World Record. Yeah, he's one of the many record holders in there. So thank you to Red Bull for my lovely package, and asking you guys to go out and support if you want. Tickets are available to this very point, so you can go to Red Bull's pages and they will direct you from there. But it should be a fantastic showcase. All right, so let us start with the sports bits. And I wonder if I should start with this story. I think I'm going to. Not because I want to cause anybody pain or myself, but so the West Indies, for the first time ever, won't be playing at the 50 over World Cup following their defeat to Scotland earlier today. The Caribbean men had a very slim chance of qualifying, but those were dashed after the embarrassing 7-wicket loss to the Scottish. Batting first, the Windies were bowled out for 181. My goodness. Scotland then cruised to 185 with more than 6 over to spare. Captain of the West Indies, Shea Hope, said the team never gave 100% consistently. That was quite evident, and will now miss out on the cricket showpiece later this year. It's a terrible start to Darren Sammy's tenure as new white ball coach and Kishore Shallow's early days as CWI president. So in my monologue, very shortly, I'll talk a little bit more about that. A little bit more of good news. Let's get off the bad news and get into some good news, because the Reggae Boys, they only need a point against St. Kitts and Nevis tomorrow to qualify for the quarterfinals of the CONCACAF Gold Cup. However, they will be looking to top the group as they are tied on 4 points with the US, but the Americans have a +6 goal difference, while Jamaica has a +3. St. Kitts are already out of the competition after conceding 9 goals in 2 games. So the Reggae Boys will be looking to add to their misery, while Trinidad in third are expected to put up a fight against the US, knowing they still have a chance to qualify. Both games kick off at 6 p.m. And the National Senior and the Junior Championships next week got a major cash boost after the Sports Development Foundation, SDF, pledged a $35 million sponsorship to the Jamaica Athletics Administrative Association, J3As, at the launch in Kingston on Thursday. More than 400 athletes are anticipated to compete in the championships, which will feature 60 events for seniors and juniors as they compete for several international championships. The J3As are said to have already received $10 million, with the remaining $25 million to follow. The senior athletes from the nation will compete for spots at the World Championships in Budapest, Hungary from August 19 to 27, while the juniors will compete for spots at the NACAC Under 18 and Under 23 Championships later this month, the Pan American Under 20 Athletics Championships in early August, and the Under 18 Commonwealth Youth Games also in early August. And finally, Natoya Gould prepared for her title challenge at next week's National Senior Championships when she finished third at the Lausanne Diamond League in Switzerland yesterday. Gould, the lone Jamaican at the meet, clocked 1 minute 58.90 seconds, which was her second fastest time this season. It is back-to-back third-place finishes for Gould this season, whose season's best was at the Diamond League meet in Paris earlier in June. She will now look to reclaim her national title after being dethroned by Chrisan Gordon Powell last year. Those were the sports bits, and it is now time for this.
Connection established. It's time for Daniel's weekly monologue. I'm Ariel Brown Blake,
I'm Dave Blake.
I'm Hope Blake.
I'm David Blake.
and it's time for the Daniel Log.
The Daniel Log.
The Daniel Love.
The Daniel Log. I will love it. And I think I deserve it.
So this won't be one of the longer monologues because it's pretty straightforward. Didn't really want to talk about it, but I will. Remember the late 90s when people said West Indies cricket was on a decline and it can't get any worse? Remember the early part of the 2000s when people said West Indies cricket was on a decline and couldn't get any worse? Remember the mid 2000s? That's 2010, between 2010 and 2012, 13, if you want to call that mid. Well, 2010 to 2015, because that's literally mid. Remember when people said West Indies cricket was on a decline and couldn't get any worse? Remember a few years ago, after they won the T20 World Cup back in 2016, some people said West Indies cricket were sort of on a up, but when you were looking at the test results and the ODI results, people are saying West Indies cricket can't get any worse. You know, we've changed presidents, we've changed members of the board, director of cricket, coaches, and every time, especially after we didn't qualify for the T20 World Cup, people said it can't get any worse than this. But one thing about the West Indies is they like to defy the odds. So, for the first time ever, the West Indies champions back in 1975 and 1979 with some of the greatest players in history, the West Indies won't be playing at the World Cup. No. I want I want to be one of those people who say West Indies cricket can't get any worse, but I feel like every time we say that, it just does. Can you imagine we couldn't beat Zimbabwe? We couldn't beat Scotland. I remember the days when we used to play Zimbabwe and Scotland, Ireland, all those countries, and it was almost used as fillers until the big teams became available. And it used to be one-sided. West Indies used to win by whole heap of runs, whole heap of wickets. And you're telling me we couldn't qualify over them? It was already embarrassing that we were playing in the qualifiers. But to not make it out of the qualifiers, it would have bothered not so bad if them did drop out early when the actual World Cup starts. But to not even make it, my gosh. My gosh. I remember there was a popular comment on social media a few years ago where somebody said that we should dig up all the cricket pitches across the island and plant some some farming products. That's what I'll say. Pretty embarrassing, West Indies. So for all those who woke up this morning and decided to put themselves through that and who did it throughout all the tournament, hats off to you, but don't do that again. Just for your peace of mind. Just don't do that again. Let's talk about some more positive things when we come back after the break, because boxing is on the up here in Jamaica, and we'll be talking about that after the break with President of the Jamaica Boxing Board, Stephen Bomber Jones. So stay with us right here on Sports Talk.
With so much to do in one location, make Mega Mart your one-stop shop. Pick up your groceries and houseware needs, grab a bite and pay some bills, fill your prescriptions and see the beauty products in our pharmacy, all in one amazing location. My Mega Mart, the best value by far.
Do you have a heart condition? Your care should be in the hands of our experienced cardiovascular team at Partners Interventional Center of Jamaica. We're one of the leading heart centers for angiogram, stenting, pacemakers, EP studies, and ablation therapy. PICJ has the expertise and latest technology to treat all your heart needs. Call 876-995-7425 or email info@pic-jm.com for appointments. PICJ, your partners for life.
Let's get up and go.
I love summer to the road. We are techie. Boy, how you doing, Jamaica? I love summer is the happening thing this summer.
Hey everyone, Spanish Town was off the chain and we can't wait to bring the love again. Fort Maria, you ready?
I think they are, Kimberly. And KG, what you have to say about
What
ILS?
can I say about this past Saturday? It was so good, and we're looking to do it again in Port Maria. More fun, more games, more laughs, more love. Every member of the family is invited to roll out.
Enough niceness and things in Port Maria, Ruby's gas station, and Giant Family Mart.
Then Sports Talk with Daniel Boyd at 1 p.m. Then it will be time for All Love Summer with Kimberly, KG, Brooke Shine, and DJ Soda, and plenty of fun, giveaways, and more.
Plus, you can purchase your ticket for the big celebration 30th anniversary I Love Summer concert coming up on Saturday, August 26th in Montego Bay with Papa San and many more.
I Love Summer Port Maria is brought to you by Puriclear, Distinction College, NHT, Robinsons and Sons Hardware, Phoenix Health Complex and Vision Center, Herbalife, Infinite Solar, and Butterkiss.
I Love Summer, a whole new world.
I love it. Get up and go.
I Love Summer is heating up off with a bang, and we're gearing up for stop number 2, the bus up pull up Saturday, July 1, St. Mary. Here we come. Yes, Port Maria next Saturday, July 1. Tag, you're it. That's right, Port Maria, Ruby's gas station, and Giant Family Mart. Look out Saturday, July 1 for the Love 101 team. Ooh, this is gonna be so good. See you soon, 2 p.m. to 5 p.m. But that's something nice. I love summer.
I love it. I love summer. Oh, I love it.
This is Asafa Powell, one of the fastest men in the world, and you're listening to Love 101, your family station.
Welcome back to Sports Talk right here on the family station Love 101. So, like I've been mentioning, local boxing is about to get a brand new series. The Jamaica Boxing Board and Jerry and Nephew partnering to bring us the Fight Nights, which starts later this evening at the Kling Kling Oval. And to talk all about it is one of the men in charge, the president of the Jamaica Boxing Board, Stephen Bomber Jones. Sir Bomber, good afternoon.
Afternoon, how are you? Thanks for having me.
I am great, and I'm sure you are too, because this is such a great initiative. But tell us how this started, this pro-am version of the Fight Nights.
It's a culmination of everything that we've been doing to this point. So basically, again, partnering with the Rainmaker, it's them taking up the baton again to a point where they first had us work with us to get this sport popular. In this year's past, our mandate was to expand the footprint of the sport in every home in Jamaica. Many people speaking about it. but during that time, having our athletes build up their talent and get to a stage where now we know we have a cadre of boxers that have the talent and just need the platform to which they can showcase their talent and build a career. So we've been working for a while now, for the past decade actually, since Axman had the title fight here in 2012.
Mm-hmm.
We've been working towards getting Jamaica to be a hub for international boxing, but we want to make sure that hub features local boxers as well. So when we just within a year, you'll see people coming to Jamaica to use this platform to showcase their skills, promoters putting their boxers on stage, you know, and being recognized around the world. But then Jamaican boxers use the same platform as well, so they no longer have to go overseas to build a career. They can build a career here, get recognized, and fight all the way to the title. So it's been a while coming, but the time is now, and it's exciting. So we are excited.
Yeah, we are excited as well because a few years ago, I believe the contender had Jamaica in a proverbial chokehold. Wednesday evenings and Wednesday night was such a great time. What would you say is or are some of the major differences between the contender and the fight night?
Right off the bat, it's just a level. This is a different level. Going to the next level about the contender was great, a great program, and it was a good way to bring, like I said, everybody together and the sport to all the fans. But the contender was one weight class each year, and they really only had nowhere to go besides being the best in that weight class in Jamaica. You know, the thing was after the contender, they would have said what next. You know what I mean? So basically, we had to, that time, had to have promoters overseas that could carry buses to that level. You know, a real Hello?
Yes, so sorry about that.
Yeah, no problem. Yeah, so basically, we have this platform is for all weight classes, or anybody that has the ability to go to build a career. So from lightweight to heavyweight, it's a non-exclusive platform, so promoters locally and overseas can use it, right, to get their boxers as many fights as possible. So basically, when McCallum used to have to go away to become a world champion, or Burby, or even Axman, we can now do it here. So this is not, there's no, the end game for this year, this program now is when they get their title fight. The entire country can watch their journey from their first fight to their world title fight. As long as they keep winning and staying disciplined, it will all happen here. They'll be able to follow the journey here at home.
And one thing that I've noticed, especially over the last few years, is the Jamaica Boxing Board has been focusing a lot on community development and social development, you know, with the Gloves Over Guns initiative and several others. And you are taking this fight series into communities all across Jamaica. Why was this so important to do rather than take it to maybe some fancy auditoriums or that type of thing?
Because it's really and truly, we all know, and we all say, you know, Jamaica is a beautiful place, it's the most beautiful country in the world, but we're known for the resort areas mostly, and but it's not just the resort areas build up Jamaica. And Jamaican people are right around in all the parishes and in all the communities. And one thing that I have learned, just from my experience, since the Gloves Over Guns program has put a incentive straight into the heart of the communities, one, no matter where the community is, what part of the country, everybody has the same thing in common, which everybody is very proud of the community they come from. No matter what the story is, no matter what, you know, you have negatives and you have the positives, but sometimes the more negative resonates, to hear it louder. And I'm showing you from being in the Gloves Over program, that from the grassroots to the elite to the pro, the community cohesion is real. Social support and the personal development and the family and just the community vibe is real and beautiful to see. So we want to not only just say, okay, we're here to bring everybody together and to have the boxers and they galvanize in terms of the community, but we want to show them that the work that they put in will be rewarded by bringing all eyes into each community and showing the good in all the communities that we have here. So it's just a start, and just us doing our part as other sports and other entities do their part as well. So we're just galvanizing as best as we can. So coming to the communities was a no-brainer because we're already here.
Yeah. Talk to me about the scheduling, because usually sporting events, they will happen once it starts, it happens every week, but this will be extended going into 2024 because it happens every 6 weeks. Tell us why, JBB and Ray Nevi decided to go down this route. Is it to ensure that we have boxing more regularly?
So the idea, as much as, people will catch on in short order once the series starts. So it's not really a series, really and fully. The goal is to make Jamaica a hub for boxing. So it's supposed to be boxing in perpetuity. It's not supposed to end. It ends for one boxer when he becomes a world champion, but then there'll be somebody right behind it. So really, as boxing is worldwide, you'll hear about a fight. You have the biggest fight in the world right now. It's actually a Jamaican Errol Spence fighting on June 29th against Bud Crawford. That would be the biggest fight of the year, But they announce it 2 months in advance, and then they watch those fighters prepare for it. We want to be able to do the same thing here. After we see a fight here, after about the fourth event, we see different Jamaican boxers building their careers, and the country gets to them, and they'll say, when is this person fighting again? So really and truly, a fight really should have a lead up time to it, because in August 12th, we'll be having Jermaine Bowman, or if we know that Big 12 is coming down in September or something like that. We lead up to it. We see the training. We have TBJ on board and everything. So if we want to follow the boxers, we want the country to follow them and follow the journey until fight night. So like I said, this is not a last man standing kind of competition. This is boxing, as it is worldwide, but now Jamaica is going to be a hub, and I'm just thankful for them to do that as well.
Yeah. For those listening who, maybe neutrals or probably don't understand the sport as much as, the average fan, what is the importance of having the amateur fighters getting fights in?
So the biggest challenge we have, the number one thing you see with Jamaican boxers right off the bat, not just boxers, it's common knowledge that we are talented in any sport, in any arena we go into. When we all, as small as countries and as much as we compete with anything else, the road to somewhere like the Olympics goes through all countries, right? So the difference is we've seen that our boxers, when we go to the qualifiers for anything, could be the Pan Am Games or could be the Commonwealth Games, could be the World Championship, we are going up against all countries and we compete very well with them, but in the amateur levels, the scoring system is different. So where we will lose sometimes is on the fact that those that have had more activity understand how to score better than we do. So we need to have more activity for elite boxers so that they can compete better at a high level, so that we will be approved to get into the Olympics and to the bigger events. So this is about giving more activity to our amateurs as well, and making sure that when we go with the disparity in how many fights we have compared to who we are competing against is that balance.
Yeah. So earlier you mentioned Errol Spence, who will be fighting overseas. We've since the Olympics, Ricardo Big 12 has been doing well, getting fights overseas, and has had a great record. Do you anticipate any of them coming to fight in this series? Is that your aim, or are you looking to just keep it to or locally based boxers at this point?
No, man, sir. Errol Spence at a different level. He's already at the top. He's the number one boxer in the world, right? But we are in conversation with him, and it would be great when we have these series. Him being in attendance would be a great pull. Ricardo Brown now and the boxers that are with United Promotions, they will use this platform. Ricardo went overseas to Tyler because our platform wasn't prepared as it. We weren't at this stage yet. But the idea was to do the same thing that he's doing there, to do it here. And now that the platform is here, he's glad to come home and fight, in front of his home crowd. He trained at GC Foster, so it'd be great to have him showcase his skills at GC Foster or something like that. So like I said, this platform here is for the promoters that have helped get us there, especially the promoters that have called Jamaican box overseas. So you have Tyler Buxton, you have Chris Joy, who's here he has been a big help to the sport as well. We can't follow Jamaica boxing, so he's doing this first show. And then you have Ransom Promotions, who also want to use the platform as well. So our local boxing definitely benefit, but boxing all over, but that, Jamaicans that are in the diaspora doing anything can use this platform as well. And it's not just for Jamaican boxing, but you'll find that Caribbean boxers that need an outlet as well. Other Caribbean amateurs that are turning pro can have their promotions put them here and just come on the stage and build their career from it.
Yeah, so finally, for everyone listening, just to remind them about what's happening this evening, the admission, which I think a lot of people will be surprised about when you say it, but just everything that's happening later this evening at Kling Kling.
Okay, gates open at Kling Kling. I'm here now. It's looking fantastic. The setup is amazing. So the gates open there at 6 p.m. First fight start at 7. It's free to get in. And it's going to be a fantastic event. And whenever it's pulled out stuff, they have Sizzler performing as well, and they're doing their giveaways as they usually do. But we focus on the boxing, so the boxing part that we are doing is all exciting, amateur, and two great show fights to start off the field.
All right, we are looking forward to it, and we're hoping that the event later this evening and going forward will be such a success. Sir Obama, thank you so much for joining us, and hope that we talk again very soon.
I look forward to it all. I appreciate it. Thank you so much.
All right, that was the president of the Jamaica Boxing Board, Stephen Obama Jones, talking about the fight nights, which starts this evening at 7 p.m. at the Kling Kling Oval here in Kingston. It will have pro-am fights, entertainment, and a whole lot. And as he mentioned, it is free. So if you probably tired of the football or the cricket or even the athletics, go on and watch some quality boxing, support our local boxers, because this is one of the ways that they get their international recognition. So looking forward to that. We're going to take a break, and somebody who does have international recognition is ALICIA Slick Ashley. We'll hear an interview from her, the very, very talented ALICIA Slick Ashley, who was recently inducted into the International Boxing Hall of Fame. So stay with us right here on Sports Talk on Love 101.
Say hello to real fruit.
Say hello to no sugar added.
Say hello to delicious.
Say hello to Tropicana.
Naturally sweetened, no artificial coloring.
Now that's something I can get with.
Tropicana, here to make your day brighter. Tropicana, real fruit my way.
Real fruit my way, my way, my way.
At Flow, we are determined to get it right. Now, over 60% of Jamaica has access to our Fiber Fast network, with over 800 communities being upgraded since 2020. And there's more to come. Everything we're doing is inspired by our harshest critic, you. Join Jamaica's Fiber Fast network and rediscover Flow today.
Reverend Dr. Kerry Dennis and Acts 222 Ministries presents Warfare Night, Setting the Captives Free, Real Deliverance, Friday, July 7, 2023 at 7 p.m. at the Jamaica Youth for Christ Auditorium, 2 Arcadia Avenue, Kingston 5, under the theme Victory, Psalm 25, verse 15. Admission free. For more information, please contact us at 402-942-2967 or visit our website at www.kerrydennis.org.
Total Energies, driving lubricants, innovation, and performance for all types of engines. Engineered with advanced molecules that protect your engine from extreme temperature, pressure, and sludge buildup to reduce mechanical wear, so you save on maintenance and keep your engine's power. Choose the right Total Energies lubricant to protect and extend the life of your equipment. Quartz for light vehicle engines, Rubio for heavy-duty engines such as trucks and buses, Hyper for motorcycles and other small engines. Total Energies engine oils perfectly lubricate and protect your engine in any condition.
Are you ready for a prophetic encounter? Join the Gifted Network for the National Prophetic Summit, July 14 to 15 at the Ambassadors, 63 Hagley Park Road, Kingston, featuring special guests, Prophet Lovie Elias, pastor and founder of Revelation Church LA, Prophets Chambry and Jaquan Gamble, and more. Be a part of this unforgettable event. 2 power-packed days of dynamic prophetic teachings. The National Prophetic Summit, July 14 to 15, Kingston. Get your tickets and learn more at thegiftednetwork.net or WhatsApp 876-404-2535.
Let's get up and go.
I love summer to the road. We are techie. Boy, how you doing, Jamaica? I love summer is the happening thing this summer.
Hey everyone, Spanish Town was off the chain and we can't wait to bring the love again. Fort Maria, you ready?
I think they are, Kim Lee. And KG, what you have to say about ILS?
What can I say about this past Saturday? It was so good, and we're looking to do it again in Port Maria. More fun, more games, more laughs, more love. Every member of the family is invited to roll out.
Enough niceness and things in Port Maria, Ruby's gas station, and Giant Family Mart.
Then sports talk with Daniel Bolt at 1 p.m. Then it will be time for ALICIA Summer with Kimberly, KG, Ruth Sharon, and DJ Soda, and plenty of fun, giveaways, and more.
Plus, you can purchase your ticket for the big celebration 30th anniversary I Love Summer concert coming up on Saturday, August 26th in Montego Bay with Papa San and many more.
I Love Summer Port Maria is brought to you by Puriclear, Distinction College, NHT, Robinsons and Sons Hardware, Phoenix Health Complex and Vision Center, Herbalife, Infinite Solar, and Butterkiss.
I Love Summer, a whole new world.
Hi, I'm Shelly Ann Fraser Price, and you're listening to Love FM, the family station.
Welcome back to the family station, Love 101. This is Sports Talk, and it is now 1:40 p.m. Boxing has been our focus, and it will continue because usually when we talk about popular Jamaican boxers, we talk about the likes of, Mike McCollum, Trevor Berbick, and, we could go on and on. But one individual who should be in the discussion is ALICIA Slick Ashley, Jamaica's most decorated female boxer. She was inducted into the International Boxing Hall of Fame in New York recently during her career of 24 wins, 12 losses, and 1 draw. She won the International Boxing Federation featherweight and super bantamweight titles, the World Boxing Council Super Bantamweight titles, the World Boxing Council Super Bantamweight title twice, the North American Boxing Federation Super Bantamweight title, and she also had several successful title defenses. She is absolutely amazing. So she did an interview just a few years ago where she spoke about some of her career and her achievements and what more can be done for women in boxing. So let's take a listen to that.
Really weird story. I started out as a dancer. My father is a dancer, still a dancer, choreographer, and that was my goal in life, which I did. I danced for 15 years. So when I was dancing, my older brothers were doing karate. And my oldest brother, Devin, always tried to get me into karate. And I never was interested in it until I got injured in dance and couldn't dance anymore. And just for exercise, I did karate and kind of followed in his footsteps because he started doing kickboxing. So I did kickboxing. And my first kickboxing competition match, I fought a boxer. And in kickboxing, you just have to kick 8 times in the round, and then you could punch as much as you want. So once she got her 8 kicks off and just started punching, it was like, whoa, what happened there? Because I was used to long distance fighting. Yeah. And when she crossed that distance, I just kind of freaked out. And when I went to the corner, the second round, my brother was like, just keep her on the outside. Use your legs as much as you possibly can. She can't pass your legs. She won't win. And actually, that's what happened. And then after that, I actually thought I need to get better with my hands. So just kind of fell into the sport of boxing. Because growing up, I had no interest in boxing. I really thought it was a brutal sport. So I didn't enjoy watching it at all. So I really didn't have any interest until I went into the game and then learned the nuances of the sport. Then I liked it.
And so you were a little bit older then when you got into boxing?
I started boxing at age 28. Yes.
And then I understand you had quite a big amateur career. You won quite a few Golden Gloves.
I mean, I won 3 Golden Gloves, 3 years in a row, and I was part of the first USA women's national team, so I won that also. I was in the first USA international team, and I won that also. So I have those accolades. But my amateur career was not that long because there really wasn't a lot of fights for women at that time, even amateur fights. So I started in 1996, and 1997 was the first year that they had the nationals. And even in 1996, that was just the second year that women were being accepted into the Golden Gloves.
Okay.
I was in the second class, but the first class of for featherweight. So I won the first featherweight also. So it was just at that time I only ended my career with 18 fights.
Okay.
The girls now are, their amateur career is more than my amateur and pro career put together. So it's at that point, I mean, I'm very happy in what I have done, but it's right now it's nothing compared to what the amateurs are doing at this time.
But I guess you could only fight who was in front of you, who.
Exactly, and I did, amateur and pro.
Yeah, and I can see from looking at your record, you didn't duck anyone, that's for sure.
You know what? It's not that I ducked anyone or didn't try to duck anyone. I actively went out looking for fights. If you look at my career, 3/4 of it was I was the opponent. Even when I was the world champion, 3/4 of my career, I was on the road fighting. I went to fight people. And from the very beginning, I fought top-notch people. My very first fight was a 6-rounder, and I fought a world kickboxing champion. So it was what was available, and I went and I got it. I went up in weight classes, very much more in weight class where that really was not my weight, to go to fight someone. So, at that point, it's like what's available. You just had to take.
And also, you touched on it before about your ring name being Slick.
Yes.
So did you use that right from the beginning, or did you always have that movement and that slickness to give you the name?
Movement for me was from my dance.
Mm.
My dance dictates my fight. And whenever someone asks me about it, because even if you didn't know I was a dancer, most people would say to me after they see me fight that I move like a dancer. You're very graceful, you're fluid. And my oldest brother, who was also my coach in the beginning, Devon, said he coined that name. It was in the papers in the Daily News afterwards, but he said, I coined that name. I'm like, fine, take credit. It is based on my movements and how fluid I am, how I was slick because you really couldn't hit me. That's basically what I did not want to get hit. So I just was never there. So yeah, there's that. It's definitely from maybe my third fight or so when I did the gloves that the name popped up.
And I read somewhere it was like 12 different countries or something you traveled to?
Probably. I mean, that got into the one good thing that I liked was that I enjoyed traveling. I wanted to see different places. So I enjoyed going to all these different places. Though only later in life in my fight career did I start visiting the countries, because they bring you in to fight, and then after the fight they're like, you're gone. So later on I would always have the promoters add on a few days, and I was willing to pay the hotel room so that at least I could enjoy the countries that I went to fight at. And
I understand you went to North Korea.
I did. That is one thing in my career that I can say that none of these other fighters have ever done. There's one thing I have over everyone else. And it was a very interesting thing. Very scary also.
Mm. Yes, yeah. What was that like, that whole experience?
Well, we had to fly into, I think it was a South Korean promoter that put it together. Mm-hmm. And you do know that they don't deal well with each other. So we had to fly to South Korea. Then the next morning we flew to North Korea, connecting through China, because they don't have direct flights. Immediately when you arrive, they took your computer, your phone, your passport was given to a handler. You cannot travel without a handler around. They brought us to a statue to pay homage to their leader. And then, everything was like, rush, let's go, we gotta do this. And since I was there to fight, I really did not try to go every place else, because it was just too much with me having to prepare to fight.
Yep. So what would you say is in your career, what's a big career highlight for you?
I had a few. And for me, it's always within my career, I've always tried to fight the best person. That's it. It didn't matter if I only had a few fights. My interest in boxing really wasn't, I'm going out there to win titles or anything like that. I was always a competitor. I grew up in a family of competitors, and for me, it was like pitting myself against the best person to see where I am. So that's one of the reasons I always went away to fight. You call me up and it's like, okay, when? I'm ready. but I fought Jackie Nava. I fought Marcela Cuna a couple of times, and it's always going into somebody's backyard and beating them and having not just winning but having the crowd turn and start supporting you. Always for me one of the just a great feeling, and knowing that they see my talent.
And what would you say has been your toughest fight? Because you've never been stopped, have you, in your whole pro career?
I would say it's the same thing. Just being in hostile, environment, and that's been majority of it. One big thing also is for me, I think I went to fight in Detroit, Michigan, and it was supposed to be like this big charity event because of the water situation.
Okay, yeah.
The promoter, really shady, found that out afterwards. Talked a good game and stuff, and really had, for me it was like great intentions. We're going there, we're doing for charity, and everything once I got there was really, I'm gonna say, a shit show. The put us up at a horrible motel. It just everything leading up to that fight. And when you cannot concentrate on a fight, it really takes the heart out of it. So it's very hard to concentrate on that fight, and just everything just kind of rolled down the hill from there. So for me, that was the hardest thing. It's not losing a fight. I really don't. For me, there's a difference between losing and someone beating you.
Yeah.
And if someone wins and they're a better fighter than me, kudos, because I learned something from that fight. I will always learn something from a fight. That's what I take from fights. Even when I win, I learn something from that fight. And I know the next time that won't happen. So I don't mind if you're a better fighter than I am, because that's what I look for. But if the loss is because there are mitigating factors, then there's something wrong in that.
Yeah.
That was Alicia Slick Ashley, the International Boxing Hall of Fame inductee, talking about some of her career achievements, how she got her name, and some of the difficulties that she went through. So happy to see her being recognized, not only here locally, because she has been given awards here locally, but to be recognized internationally for her achievements is absolutely outstanding. We just have a few minutes to go. Reminding you that the Reggae Boys, they play tomorrow against St. Kitts and Nevis. For those who have watched the games, you'll see that the Reggae Boys not playing too badly. They probably should have beaten the Americans, especially with the chance to go 2-0 up. Leon Bailey missing that penalty, but then missing the follow-up. He received heavy criticism. I wasn't one of those who criticized him. I just felt that he, sometimes overthinks when he plays for Jamaica, because being the star name in the team, and also playing for no disrespect, a small nation, it can affect you. And but he did put up a much better performance against Trinidad, and the entire Reggae Boys did. They blew Trinidad out of the water in the first half. They definitely dropped the the ball in the second half, but it was really great to see Dujon Whisper Richards getting his first international goal. Remember last week when Shoshana and Tiffany were here and we were talking about it. It's great that he got that first goal, because some people are saying, well, he hasn't played football in months. Last time we saw him was with KC. So yes, him signing for Chelsea, but we have, players like Colin Anderson, Trevante Stewart, pardon me, and other strikers who were available. But heavy deflection, but hey, you don't score if you don't shoot, right? Unless it's a own goal. So the Reggae Boys play at 6 p.m. against St. Kitts and Nevis tomorrow. It would be good if they rack up some goals, because USA, they will be playing Trinidad. USA lead the group and they have a +6 goal difference, and the Reggae Boys have a +3. So what that means is that the Reggae Boys will need to outscore St. Kitts and Nevis and hope that Trinidad either holds USA to a draw, or that they put up a good enough fight so that they don't lose that badly, so that Jamaica can top the group and have a favorable advantage heading into the quarterfinals. So next week we will talk about that, because by that time the quarterfinals would have been already played and we would be closer to the final. So that would be going on. Also next week, starting on Thursday, is the National Senior and Junior Championships. We should see Shelly-Ann Fraser-Price making her season debut. She's been hampered by injuries. Elaine Thompson-Hera also returned to JC last week and was pretty emotional. And it was good to see her return. Sharika Jackson, Hansel Parchment, Akeem Blake, Oblique Seville, Rashid Broadbell. We have our field athletes like Jaden Hibbert, Frederick Dacre, Shanika Ricketts. We have so much talent on show next week at the National Stadium. So if you plan to be there, make sure you get your tickets, because those events are going to be great. Unfortunately, that's all the time we have today here on Sports Talk. Thank you so much for joining me. It was truly a pleasure. And remember that Sports Talk happens every Saturday afternoon from 1 to 2 p.m. right here on the family station Love 101. Until then, please stay safe, enjoy your weekend, and as always, watch some sports.